Hey everyone, I'm just recording this live and I will re-upload it onto onto the channel. Yeah, I'm going to do my weekly review. So backtest last week's data for EUR USD, and I thought I'd start from doing my top-down analysis. So I didn't really show that in the last two videos, but yeah, so you can get an idea of how I set up from like the weekly down. I don't really look at the monthly, not that much on the weekly, but just for certain areas of interest. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll answer any questions at the end of the stream as well. So here we go. We're on the weekly. I've already put it back to last Monday. Just get an idea. I would say we had a weekly low broken, wicks. Yeah, pretty much. I'd say this is another weekly low broken. And then we had weekly chalk. And now it's our current weekly low, our weekly high. You can see we have rejected from an old weekly supply. Don't really mark that up, but just for the sake of it. Another thing I look at, because it looks like we are having a bit of a weekly pullback here. I'll mark this out. So we've got premium discount. Let's mark that out roughly. There we go, just for later. But we've got a couple areas that we're looking at. We've got a nice weekly point of interest. We're currently in or demand, or whatever you want to look at it. We're currently in one here. I'll put it there for now, but once we get closer, I will delete it. So we're aware that, you know, we could easily push out of this demand and break the highs. But if we were to continue pulling back, these are the areas I would look for next on the higher time frame. And then this main one at the bottom, which has been tested, but I think that's still definitely something to be aware of. And yeah, it's pretty much all I do, quite simple. We have this one here, but as you'll see, it'll just get a bit too much with it on the chart. So I'll zoom in here. The thing is, I want to note as well is have a nice daily here that we front run slightly. So I like to have that on just because it's easily we work past that, and that's when we get the bigger pullback. But had a really nice rejection out of there. So in terms of daily, probably not going to mark up anything really down here yet. It's so far away, it's not really relevant. And even in here, it's not really that relevant. So pretty much just to get the structure of the last, we had this, was a daily high broken, a lot of wicks. Yeah, so for me, I would say, yeah, it's something, it's not really, I'll have it like this. Daily high. But I would count this as one move here. So, you know, this isn't really, this is the whole daily leg. Now in the interim, you know, this would look more like probably more 4-hour structure in there. I will acknowledge that we've had a daily chalk. Let me just, I might need to type it in. Yeah. But for now, this is our daily low strong. And daily high weak at this point. Because this is the daily, yeah, these are, this is the daily leg. This is like structure, but as you like, I try to explain in another video. And so we're expecting this to keep pushing up. We're in what you could say is also daily demand. That's and weekly demand and daily demand. You'll see that we've, so I'm going to delete the weekly now. I'll keep the daily for now. And yeah, pretty much this is the leg here. Not really much information here. There's obviously a sweep here, but a lot of imbalance above. So we'll be more interested in local price action here. If the bullish trend was to continue, this is where from here, the daily, we'd expect it to go up. Otherwise, if we do break this, potentially we could see a deeper retracement into this weekly leg as we're prepared for. But right now we're sitting here. Okay. I don't want to take forever on this. I go to the 4 hour, just so you can get an update on where we've come from. This is our 4 hour demand that we tapped into and have a nice reaction so far. Inside the weekly, inside the daily. So it's a really good place where we're looking for longs. I'm going to delete the daily now. Okay. Now in the 4 hour structure, we had 4 hour break of structure, 4 hour break of structure, another one, find it, little liquidity grab here, I'll just note. And then some price action here down to this low where that's our current 4 hour low, current 4 hour high. Okay, we did have a 4 hour chop, the change of character, and also we've got some internal. So here we've got some 4 hour, I might have to just type it in, some structure internally. I just label like int, just so you can see the difference. This is like our external, this is where it gets a bit tricky, this is why I wanted to lay it all out. We've got another one here. And yeah, we pretty much reacted out of this internal 4 hour demand. Here and then pushed to break the highs, which meant there was some big buys coming in here. So this trended. So my guess, my idea is we're either going to try and take these highs out once again, seeing how this low's held. I think if we were going to break this low, we would have come down, but we can still break this low, but we might have another run at the highs. So this could still hold. But yeah, let's see. We had this one marked out, and then, yeah, so we'll just take the, essentially what I'm looking at is like, this is the high, but it's pretty much been mitigated by this 4 hour here, which has been fairly mitigated. So I would assume this high is a weak high here internally. So let's just mark that up. 4 hour high, weak, internal. Okay, so it's interesting. We've got that external strong high, but a weak high. So they're very close together. A lot of these 4 hour areas have been fairly mitigated. So it'll be interesting to see if this holds. Okay. I'm going to, I'll just pull this one across because hope it's not. Okay, now let's go on the 15. Okay. Break of structure. And we had, oh no, here it was. We had our chalk. And we had the break of structure. And we kept moving up. Break of structure, liquidity sweep, back where we got chalk, and final break of structure. Okay. Perfect, this is where we are. Okay, so this is ending on Friday. Let's see where the market opens after the weekend. Okay, a little bit of a gap down. Let's at least get till Asia open. Okay. Technically, could look at this, however, this wick low. So I would be looking for maybe some chalk out of here or this high to be broken. This is what we have here. We got a 15-minute high. And essentially, this is the wick low. But 15-minute low. Okay, let's see. I want to see a 15-minute chalk in the discount area. We're looking to go long, obviously. Oh, sorry, obviously, but let's see. Okay, nice. We've got a break of structure. Okay, so 15, it's been mitigated. Let's have a look. Quite small. So this is the case. You can include like the last, some imbalance in there. Okay. The 2 minute inside the 15-minute. some room. 0.6 generally, I say. The spreads. And I'm guessing this would be the high. With this backtest, I'm going to, at the end, look at moving up with 5-minute market structure or just targeting the next 15-minute breaker structure, and I want to compare the results. I've been doing that privately, but I'm happy to do that on the video as well, just to see what gives a better result. Okay. Let's see if we get a tag. A swing. Okay. We've got another liquidity sweep. Another sweep. Let's see if we actually get a break. Keep this on because we actually haven't broken structure yet. Yeah, okay, yeah. Sweep. It's all liquidity sweeps here. So this is still the last 15-minute low. Okay. That's it. Now we've got London open. And we've got this resting liquidity here, still from spread hours or overnight. Honestly, I'm looking for a new strategy, not a new strategy, I mean, a different way to trade the opens, because you often get liquidity grabs, especially with London and Asia. But let's see. We definitely want to go deeper. This, if we had have come back, this was the one we wanted because it was the one that broke. But now that we've swept, now London's open, we want to get to the deepest one. Because as you'll see here, we'll have a 15-minute shock, which I won't trade because we're not in a 4-hour point of interest, but it just means that after a shock, we're much more likely to come to the extreme of the last 15-minute push. So here, oh, I need to refine to the 2 minutes, sorry. Okay. I think in this case, because we so often get the sweep, I will look at giving maybe like a pip, a whole pip. It's quite small already, so 1.9, let's go 2.9, and we want the highs again. So we're still on 15-minute uptrend. We will have chalk here, but we didn't actually have any breaks of structure to the upside. So let's see. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Look, just we had this liquidity line here. Potentially, if we wanted to, this is what I'm going to teach as well. I'm coming up with a sweep strategy where you could wait for your next 15-minute shock that we probably have here, and then enter off the sweep candle and go up. But I'm going to make a new video for that, just otherwise it gets too confusing. I think I just suggest give an extra pip, even a pip and a half underneath if there is, especially overnight liquidity. No one's here that, like, you have to think the people that are defending this level, no one's defending this level. It's just seen as resting liquidity. Even you could look at the last order block that it reacted from, and literally say that it's unmitigated because it was taken overnight and trade. But I like to keep it still the same and just give yourself a bit more. So we're still in that, which is pretty nice. We're targeting the 15 high to start with, and then I'm going to look at how we would. Okay, so that would be hit target there. So we've got another breaker structure. Okay. Internal. Let's keep going up. Okay. Now we're pushing back into this high. Very impulsive. Okay. Not a mess. I would say this is a 15-minute breaker structure. We've got 2 candles in between. Let me have a look. We've just broken the high. So essentially we just trade it until it fails. And then we trade the other way. I guess this would be, let's see if that's enough. 4.2, 4.8. 3 to 1. Yeah, I guess let's just take it anyway, see what happens. Okay, that's a -1. These happens. We could have been more cautious. We've just swung the other high, not a very strong break or anything like that. So potentially we'd come back down after such a move. But we'll give that -1. This one is +11. So not too bad. I will be going over, I've posted a couple videos on my channel as well in regards to trading impulsive markets, like when you get here on the 5-minute time frame. And I'll do another video for that. I just want to keep this as simple as possible so as many people can follow. But yeah, and these things, say you missed this or you got stopped out, coming up with a couple different entry techniques to get you back in the market to capitalize on the move. Either if you got maybe the spreads worse on yours, or just you missed this entry and you want to try catch this run up. But let's look what's next. We've got a nice 15-minute shock. I'd say this is still our 15-minute low, but we have now chopped down. Put it on the other side. And really, this is we're at chuck in a 4-hour point of interest. So essentially, this is where we're trying to get short from to start with. Our first one there. You're looking at like the point that led to the chalk. Let's see. And then at this point, we're pretty much like targeting like 15-minute demand. Okay. Okay. In and out of that real quick. Okay. Another -1. Yeah, let's have a look. 15 high. Interesting so far. We look at our premium discount. We haven't pulled back very far, so was quite a push, impulsive leg. Let's see where we go from here. Okay, now we're getting the rejection. Where are we? Oh, we're overnight. Yeah, no wonder. That's all right. We'll count those at -1. However, I don't think we'd be waiting to enter a trade right in the middle of spread hours. But, you know, for full transparency, we'll keep it on there. So we've just got Asian open now. Let's see what they do. We're still pretty much, if we want to go short, we're looking for another break of this. There's not really much clarity, a lot of wicks, lows. And maybe for another break of that for a long. Have a look at the 15-minute shock. That failed. Do we have a? Have a look. We do have a lot of imbalance here. There's potential. We wouldn't be tagged in yet. Potential that we do reject from the extreme of the shock. Especially after a liquidity sweep of the highs. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's. Let me just label this. Sometimes you will take 2 losses, but especially if you're looking inside this 4-hour POI for a point of reversal, I think I will give just my normal 6. If that's meant to hold, it's meant to hold. So, and then again, 15 demand still. Let's see. What would be in? Okay. Okay, we do have another sweep chalk set up internally. If you weren't in this one in Asia, however, what's a ×7? I think if I was to take this, I would cover the highs just in case of that liquidity sweep. So I pretty much keep my stop loss right where this one's. And I wouldn't be taking this if I was already in this, because pretty much the same target. That's only, yeah, that's just because I know the London loves to sweep Asian liquidity. So oh, let me have a look at that. You're joking. Let me see, they're on the same height. So did it run the highs just? Yeah, crazy. Well, we'd be in both of those. Just like the skin of our teeth. That's why I think it's very good to. That's why I use a sessions tool. Just here, sessions. I think it's, yeah. I don't know the actual name. There's sessions, and just so I know when these opens are happening and who put in the highs and lows, because you tend to get the new sessions to sweep the last session quite often. And if you're going to be having your stop loss super tight, you're going to be quite annoyed getting stopped out on the other time all the time. So give yourself as much room as you need. Backtest it, see what happens, how far it goes with your broker and everything like that. So I found that 0.6 is generally all right normally for spreads. However, for the liquidity sweeps, I like to go. How much was that? If we were going to go there, 3. That's almost like a pip and a half. Pip and a half. So definitely worth backtesting on that. Let's say you were stopped out here. Maybe we get another chance. Had to sweep again. Like an internal break of structure. This is the low. Now. And would you get another chance to enter? Okay. So broken at low. I've already got consolidation here on the break of the low. So I'd look at this for my next entry. This is the 2-minute. This would also be a valid entry up here. If we were to come back, and the only thing, once we come back here, we've got a 15-minute shock. That's why I always look at the last 15-minute consolidation when we're moving impulsively. So let's have a look. If we get tagged in. All right. We have a sweep. Then engulfing. For me, this is what's the time? Guess you could almost call it a breaker structure. It's not very strong. Got the open coming up soon. Let's have a look. If we were to take it, I think the same thing again. Where's the high? This one. If we can, this is the breaker structure. We take that as the high. Taking the short. London, New York Open coming in a bit. Let's go pip above. And target the same area. Pretty impulsive candle. So I wouldn't be surprised if this gets stopped out, but we're just following market structure and being aware of the opens for liquidity sweeps. So, yeah, no. That one pip did not help us there. So You could have probably got a heads up that it was going to be pretty strong due to the fact when a candle break is then immediately engulfed. To me, it's almost like that's a wick break and this high is going to be run. But, you know, we could have just looked at this. We wouldn't have got tapped in either, but we take the loss because anything can happen. Okay, let's keep going. So nice, it's pretty much like I'd say a liquidity grab, and we've broken structure again. Still in the downtrend. I guess like, yeah, what have we got? 15. Yeah, pretty nice. It's been mitigated, but I think the extremes. Whether we come all the way back to that, we'll see. Well, we do have Fed Chair Powell testimony. I don't know. I don't really know the impact of that. Oh, well, there you go. Quite the impact. So yeah, we easily got our target in all of these. 12, 29, -1, and no fill. Plus 29R. This is the sort of reason I want to test the 5-minute market structure, because potentially we could have still been in these trades, especially after that news. Look at that 48, 49 is pretty crazy. Even this one, yeah, into the 20s. And just test the difference, you know, how much times it comes back on you, and how many times did you actually could have gotten a much better trade. I read this Best Losers Win book, and it inspired me to look into that, because you never know how much the market may give you on a certain day. And, you know, to let those big winners turn into huge winners, you know, even something like this as well. You run it up to even just, you know, the break of structure, you've got 17 from your 11 in these sorts of impulsive moves. So we'll play it on out. These were our entries. I don't know how, obviously it has quite a big impact, Fed Powell, however you pronounce it. So I would have probably removed this pending order if I wasn't already in. And I wouldn't have taken this trade out of the demand, just due to the fact it would have been coming into it right on red news. But yeah. So let's have a look. That's a huge dump. So we now have an update. This was a 4-hour low internal. We didn't break the high, and we're coming down pretty hard. So this major 4-hour low, which I forgot to label, is our week low. That could be where we're coming. And like, if we get there, you know, and you could have been holding this for 76, insane. So yeah, that's why I really want to test this theory. Let me just have a look. I'm going to go back. Whoop. I'm going to just go back right before the news, so I can go on to the 4-hour and not reveal anything. Oh, okay. No, too late. Anyway, we could have probably guessed that. So yeah, that is the low. I wanted to see how it broke. This is the week high. Yeah. Okay, so it was the week high. We've had a liquidity sweep. So this low was a week. So yeah, it was all looking pretty bearish after that liquidity sweep and dump. So yeah, we're expecting. Obviously, we saw that it did break. Let's see if we can get the trades run it down, even though we know it's going down. But that's what we're trying to see. This is we're expecting to break, and this we're expecting to break actually. So let's see how far it goes. See if there's any trades we can get into. For this here, you know, the 5-minute chart, there may be something there, but not particularly for me here. Okay. We've now got an actual bit of structure broken. Getting pretty late. Just sort of mark it out. Just a thing, like you have to know when your edge works as well. You know, this works when there's, because I'm looking, you think about order blocks and there's people that place these orders and people that are there, the big entities that are there to defend these areas when price returns to it. You know, like they've entered here, put there, they're coming to then, you know, get more entries here again and push it down. They don't want these highs to be broken. So that's how I see it. That's how I see the market at least. So if we're now in the middle of the night, these entities aren't trading to hold these areas, so we could easily just grind up through them with no one defending it. That's how I look at it. It just helps me see, you know, why is this going to hold versus the other one in terms of the, you know, the time when it's coming into it, the speed it's coming into it, the session, blah, blah, blah. So even though we mark this up, you know, if we're not going to get tagged in before 8 o'clock, then really not a valid trade for me. Just because it's 8 o'clock European time, I think the markets start to close very soon after that. But we'll be just targeting this low, this week low, if we do get. Okay. Looks like we're just going to grind out. Yeah, I wouldn't have the order on anymore anyway. What's the time anyway? Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, let's just watch market structure, what it does overnight. We'll see what Asia does when they open. Okay. Overnight market structure, we had another 15-minute break of structure. Honestly, I don't really know about Asia. I guess do they sweep liquidity or do they hold these overnight structures? Let's just see. I wouldn't put on this valid trade here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's just continue to dump anyway. So. Okay. We've just hit the low. Week low. See how it reacts out of here. Because we've just had a break of structure. After taking that low, I honestly probably wouldn't trade this, so I'm not going to in the back testing either. Here we go. let's have a look. We've got it's getting quite tight in here. Theoretically, you could take another trade, you know, if you're really desperate, where you couldn't take it on the 15. Let's see if there's any. For the sake of the video, I'm going to take it. But, you know, we've hit our main target that we thought price was going to get to, you know, so we could start a retracement any time. So, you know, we're just going to obviously target the 15-minute breaker structure. Next 15-minute low, I'll label that so everyone knows. Oh, we're in. Are we out? Oh, okay. Oh. All right, that was a win. 4-1, not too bad, really quick. But yeah, obviously it can still work in these extreme areas, but you just have to think of probabilities. You know, we've broken this low, we're in all this demand, market's getting less impulsive downwards. Now we've got a unconfirmed sweep. Yeah, so no trades here. Okay. We've got a chock. That was a little bit too quick with it. Breaker structure, essentially. The chock we wouldn't have got filled. I guess if what led to the chock. So I just went a bit quick at such quick market structure. Going to have a look on the 2-minute. Oh, would have got filled. Not here. Well, not yet. For the sake of the video and for, you know, learning and confidence, where do we? Yeah, I guess that would be the target. We'll just be targeting 15-minute supply. We've got chock, but we still haven't broken structure, like downwards external structure. So, is that right? I'm guessing it probably didn't get there. Let's have a look. This one didn't. This one we can delete. It didn't get filled. But this one, yeah, would have been pretty after the chock. Would have been a nice 6R. Perfect reversal, I guess. Got to look into the 4-hour POI, taking the last 4-hour low, and we've got our chock, liquidity sweep, our entry. Actually, I want to delete this, it's all in the way. Here, with the chock and the breaker structure, for me, this is a target, not an entry. So let's see what the rest. This is, I don't know. I wouldn't really, because we got the high was the low. I'm just going to leave that. It's not really valid for me. Bit of not unclear. Okay. We had a sweep. We had a, I guess you could call it chock, but chock inside of a 4-hour demand, bearish. It's not really, that could just be London pushing for some liquidity. I don't trade chocks outside of, like, especially bearish chocks would be inside 4-hour supply. I'd be looking, even though it's out of this 15-minute POI, it'd just be no trade for me. Aye. Okay, maybe. Yeah, that's why you just, this is why I don't trade chocks outside of where they're meant to be traded. We've just got now liquidity sweeps on both sides. So I guess this weird candle is holding as demand right now, but for me, it's not really valid. Essentially right now, there's like a 15 high, I guess, a 15 low in terms of this range. Chalk low. I would say this is like the main leg because we haven't had like a proper breaker structure. I would say this is like the external low and this is the internal. And we've still got this like huge 15-minute demand wick that's been untapped that we could easily come into and get a 15-minute shock out of. Right now, there's no trades for me here. Okay. Yeah. This is why it's good to, be very strict with your rules because markets do this sometimes. Usually after you do get a big move out, but this can happen. So we've got a new high after the liquidity sweep. Okay, and you can give away all your profits in markets like this. If you're trying to short from here and then, it holds and then you get stopped out, you're longing from here and it, holds and you get stopped out. And I think it's just better to just follow your rules, keep to the 15-minute market structure until something's clear. Maybe you do miss the breakout, but you've also missed all the stop outs as well. So, all right, then, yep. New York's opened, sweep, still no breaks. All right. Oh, well, all right, that went pretty quick. But yeah, we've got to break a structure. What is this news? Yeah, considering the last testimony, how it dumped, even though this would have been your point of interest in live trading, I wouldn't have been putting a limit on in terms of on the news. It's just not how I trade. Interesting that we tapped into this 15-minute demand. Broke the high, broke here, swept the lows by the looks. This is our high. That's will depend on how this candle closes. Oh, okay. We've got wicks, wick breaks, liquidity, swept the lows, swept the highs. Let's see what's next. All right, now I've got a bit of action, a bit of price action. Okay, we've got 15, just like a liquidity grab. Changes to liquidity. And didn't change. Okay, so let's see. We are technically 15 bullish. So let's see. Out of 4 hour demand, daily demand, weekly demand, we're all like, that's where we're back at. We've swung this low. I don't know what happened to my 4 hour line. Oh no, it's still there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we swung that pretty much, yes, swept it, I guess. I'm going to look at the 4 hour just because it's will like reveal too much. And, we've only got a Thursday, Friday to go. Oof, 56 minutes. So sorry that it's taken forever. Speed it up, 2x. I'd probably talk too slow while I'm figuring it all out. Okay, so we'll probably look for a 50-minute shock inside this. See what happens overnight. When I say overnight, I'm in Europe, so my overnight, maybe it's your day, morning. See what Asia does. Okay. Okay, when was this? Right in the middle of the night, I spread liquidity sweep into shock. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're in the discount area. I don't think personally I'd take this trade, but I don't know what time, 11:30 my time. Not really sure what would have put that in. But I guess, yeah, the 15 is the same as the 2. Maybe you'd expect it to sweep this liquidity that's left over, at least some of it. So you could, if you want to get a sharper entry, maybe expect it to sweep the liquidity. Oh, that's a short. One more. Okay, and yeah, I guess break the high. I don't know why this is labeled liquidity. Oops. Maybe that's what I changed before. Yeah. Break the high. This is, yeah. Let's see, we still have a bit of area below here, but following 15-minute structure, we've got shock. So who knows? Anything can happen. So if you took it, did run that liquidity we're talking about. Okay. And we've got a 15-minute break of structure. Okay, 15. Okay, that's where we're looking. Last consolidation that broke the high. Ooh, tiny candles in here. I'd take probably the last few, just because they're so small. Like this tiny one, it couldn't hold, but this is where potentially I would look at refining my strategy for Asian session later on, but I just don't trade it. So I'm just trading it almost exactly the same as I trade London and well, that's a tiny stop loss. Maybe it's Asia after all. So what, 0.8? Let's just go. Maybe we'll give a pip. Oh, nah, that's just normal. Yeah, 0.1. And we're, yeah, looking to break the high still. Let's see. Whoa. That'd make me nervous. Okay. Another breaker structure. Let's mark it out. That's what we do. What's the time? London Open. Is it? Yeah. All right. So if we're in this, we wouldn't move our stop. We want it to have that extra give, because we know this is another entry for us, and London loves to sweep some lows. So especially ones that are like equal lows like this. Mark out the last two. And we'll, why do I keep doing shorts? Hope you guys are enjoying this. It's pretty like just me going through. All right, let's put we know what we talked about. We have a pip, same target. Let's see what London does to us. Let's hopefully we don't lose this one and this one. Generally, I'm in like maybe maximum 2 trades at a time. As long as like generally one's safe. This would sort of be like your one or the other, depending on your risk appetite. But if you're in this, maybe you could have taken 50% off here if you wanted to enter the next one, or you could have taken it all off, getting for the next one. I think that's something to backtest yourself, and that's what I'm doing as well. But these are the targets. These are internal breaks of structure. These are external. So we're like looking at bullish break structure inside bullish structure. So like we're looking for this high to break. So that's why I'm targeting it. If you don't want to hold a trade that long, you could have had 3.4. What is this? Yeah, it's still, 9.5 for the day. 9% if you train 1%, or 4.5% if you train 0.5%. That's still very, very nice day in Asia session. Okay. Oh, did we survive? Oh, that happened quick. Okay, sorry, skipped through a bit quick. But again, I hope this is a good lesson, everyone, to give yourself a bit of space on the opens. Both of our trades survived, which is really awesome. We probably missed another entry on one of them because it went so quick. But I'll mark it out. This is, yeah, I guess, I don't know, let me just go on a 2-minute. Yeah. Wow. What a day this would be. So many chances. Just have to pull the trigger. Whoop. Right. And move this across, so we're getting a bit crowded up. No. Raymond, it's getting there. It's walking its way up, which makes me nervous that we may just get completely wrecked but it's just bullish market structure. Okay. That's our next 15, really. Let me have a look. Okay. Well, yeah. It's quite a bit of imbalance before it. Let me have a look. I'm just going to mark out 50% in imbalance. I'm going to enter off there. I find that I get front run quite often with my 2 minute if there's just like too much imbalance. The price just doesn't fill at all. So that's what I started to do. But yeah. Okay, same target. 3.1, 3.7. Back to the 15. But yeah, you can see this is I've never seen anyone use a 2 minute before. I've backtested it on Euro, USD, AUD, USD, and GBP USD, and Euro USD worked like the best out of all of them. You do miss some trades, which is quite annoying. That's why I'm trying to get some more rules for these imbalances and stuff, because when you do miss like such a big one, it can be quite annoying. But you see, you get such sniper entries compared to the 15 that the risk to reward is just awesome. So backtest yourself, but I've done the hard work. It's unfortunate I can't. I backtested months and months, but I don't have like the plus or whatever it is for trading view, so I can only go back like 3 months on the 2 minute time frame. So that's why I do like my post week updates, and I will do some more. I was doing December a bit, but it's quite messy price action, and I don't think I'll trade in December next year. It was just yeah, really not. It's hard to find your edge because the same people aren't trading the markets. So I'm just going to keep going though. It's getting a bit long. All right, there we go. See, that's what I mean. We would have been tagged in here. If I had gone without filling a bit of that imbalance, like 50%, I found it's a good level. So that's awesome. Let's mark those out while we're at it. Mark out our next trade as well while we're counting all our imaginary wins. But it's awesome to see. It just gives you so much confidence going into the next week's trading. I tried it on Sunday, but actually it was a little bit, had the flu, not flu, just a bit of a cold. I don't know if you can still hear it. I was a bit knocked out. Asia. I'm doing it now. It's Asia too. Asia crushing it. 18R. Oh man. Might be right. I'm going to Australia soon, so looks like I'll be trading just fine in Asia. Plus 11. Hope it's not too boring, but this is like what you need to do. Just really find your edge and then become super confident in it. And becoming super confident, seeing it play out over and over and over, which means back testing, live forward testing, trading it live. And then you just become second nature. You just take every setup because you see every setup. And you know how it moves. That's why I just trade Euro USD at this point. Just because I know how it moves, especially with these opens and everything. So this is quite interesting. Let's see what happens here. We know we've left us behind some imbalance. Now I can go into that in more depth, but pretty much just, I don't like when imbalance is just below or above where my stop loss is going to be. So usually, sometimes you can even enter, on the sweep, depending, we are pretty far away. Or at least have your stop loss cover it. if you still want to, like, you know, say this holds and we move. But from my experience in backtesting, the imbalance right below, like where your wick and the stop wants to be, is just asking for it to be run. So let's see, balance. Let's give it, how much is that extra? So 2.9, it's about a pip of imbalance. And then let's give like a normal, hold on. Yeah, let's cover the imbalance by a couple of pips. And I guess, yeah, up here, it's moving pretty fast. So I'm not even sure if we're getting this one. But we've broken structure externally as well as internally. So it'd be interesting to see. There's a lot of liquidity here. This is our new low to have. But this is our last point of that needs to hold with our imbalance. So we've covered the imbalance. So let's see. Oof. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. Sorry, so you guys can see. Exactly. I've been trading this pair for a while. Like, it was the main one I got funded on, and I backtested it months and months of data. And yeah, I just know the intricacies. That's why I like to go on the 2 minute, because on the 15 you don't see that this is left in balance here. You see there's a bit more of a wick, but you can't know that that imbalance is there. Honestly, I'm looking for, I'm making a strategy that can get into trades with this wick as well. So we could double up the trade, you know, after the sweep, just in case you got stopped out. But I'll reveal that in another video. This one works just fine enough. That's our target. Just because we've broken out this main, we sort of open, so we're just looking at new highs. Well, we would have hit it. We haven't broken it. Still a liquidity, I guess. So yeah, we don't really have any setups yet. Okay. That was almost chalk. But it looks like a sweep. This is on a high. We will need to break. Yeah, no, it's only 5 o'clock. Got 15 break of structure. Okay, let's zoom out. What's the time? Okay, 8 o'clock. We're in a don't really have any targets here. I think there's like 4 hours up here. Just don't want to reveal too much. I guess it's getting into the night time, so it doesn't matter what happens overnight. But let's see. There's a huge amount of imbalance. So this is mainly going to be for targets. 4 hour. There is a 4 hour POI here, but there's a balance above it. So, you know, if we get to this one, I just see us going to that one. And this is sort of a weak break. Really, it broke, but let's just say 4 hour break of structure. It's getting a bit messy, but this happens. Yeah. Okay, go back to 15 minutes. Okay, so what broke the high? I guess this was the last consolidation. But again, we know what time it is. And it's going into night time, so we know the edge isn't that strong when there's no one defending these areas. So I suspect this would lose, but you just never know. Yeah. Okay. I will call it. That's just so you just, once you know the times of day, you know, you need people defending these areas, you know, and what we came in that at almost 9 o'clock my time. I would be trading anyway, but just so you can, I just want to see, you know, that these timings matter. And to be very aware of that. So essentially we've got chalk, but for me that doesn't matter. We're not in a 4 hour POI. There's that 15 low. So yes, essentially we're looking for, I guess, this to hold. I guess this could hold, nice little liquidity sweep. But I'd look for some sort of 15-minute chalk out of it, see what Asia session does overnight. I wouldn't be taking any trades out of that. After a chalk, I want to reverse chalk. Unless, you know, we're in London or New York session coming into this. Okay, whoop, sorry. Okay, I'm just going to be back in a second. I'm going to turn them on. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Nature was calling. Been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes almost, so these things happen. Let's go. Okay, we're on Friday, we're almost done. But yeah, I want to make it as clear as possible. This is a low. I never find it. Break a structure, low. Pretty nice looking candle with a lot of liquidity above it, so maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. Let me just going to delete that. This is the high. Okay. 2 minute long. 15 high. Let's have a look. The time. Guess what I normally do last that led to it. Guess that could have played out. I've put it now. Okay. Well, there you go. London's come in. We've set the lows. I guess now target's up here. Done that, but usually I like to take that in the situations. This is all put in over. There's just all liquidity left behind, so that's why I took the most extreme. But generally, if like a, say, you know, it gets put in within a session, you know, the last consolidation, that's when I'll take it. But overnight, there's just, you know, obviously this one did work out and you would have played out. But yeah, that's why I joined in this case. But I can mark that. Yeah, it would have played out fine. So just so you know why I chose this extreme one, just because there's just like so much liquidity there. So we're aiming for that. Swept the lows on London. Oh yeah, so I got change that to liquidity. Change this to 15-minute high. Is it still? Yeah. Okay. All right. Must have been some news. It's disappeared. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, this would have been tricky. I think if I was in this, potentially would have taken some profits and moved my stop onto this wick. So, or just close that completely. Just non-farm payroll can, say it dumped, cause a lot of slippage. So we'll count this in there anyway, but just so you have full transparency, how I trade these big news events. I don't really like to be honest. I don't think it's really required. That's what I'll mark it. But let's see. Now I've got what's a big 15-minute. Yes, that's a 2-minute. It's the thing you get, like the candle just gets so big after these big news events. Your stop loss starts to be huge for a 2-minute candle. It's 12.3 pips. On these ones, I just like leave it on the edge. There's like the likelihood of it coming all the way down to the edge. I guess this is only target 4 hour high. I got there without us. So. Oh, we've broken through the. Anything for me yet? Where are we now? Yeah, I think we can call that for the day. And that's when we finished. Let's count this up. Is that just from Monday here? Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Let's get the text. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Actually, was this in. Oh, when I come to it. Was it in Asia? Yeah. Yeah. Oops, we're on the right. Oh, looks like Asia cleaned up. Okay. Sweet. Text. Totals. Let's see. New York. We got 11, 23, 34, 38.5. Asia, oh, actually 38.5 minus 1, yeah, 2, 3, 4, minus 4 equals 34.5. Asia, huge, 29 plus 1039 plus 8, 47, 57, 65. Crazy. And no losses. Wild. Okay, well, there you go. So there was a total of like 100% available, 100% this week. Insane. Good trading. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to end the stream. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that and got some value out of it. I went all through my top-down analysis at the start. And then, yeah, literally bar by bar replay, realistically, how I'm trading live, letting you know everything I do and the reason I do it, the stop losses, the imbalances. Any questions you have, hit me up, comment on the video, like it, subscribe, be awesome. Sorry, should be looking in the camera, just I use my monitor over here. Yeah, awesome if you subscribe. I'm going to be starting a Telegram soon, just giving away some, just like some free insights and all my markups for the days and everything like that to anyone's interested. So I'm going to post that on my YouTube channel soon. And yeah, I hope you enjoy my videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.